Hello guys, I'm back from another video and today we're talking about what if Belle had a symbiote. So in the last video we talked about how after Belle saves Haruhime from the whole rituals thing, they also get a little bit of help thanks to the help of the Freya Familia. Because Freya was still being a yandere for Belle and basically started burning the entire Ishtar Familia's base. So, just in canon, he also defeats Rainer or whatever her name is as the frog rapist, I'm just gonna call her that, gets killed by Torart or whatever his name is. So, after Torart basically just squished her head to the point that basically made her basically gave her brain damage, he would save Haruhime, but she would get captured by Aisha, as they were told, or at least she told Belle to fight her. After the fight, she would be defeated, but she decides to run away instead of being killed by Belle. So, and as for Ishtar herself, well, just like in canon, Freya would basically slap her as she would fall to the ground and basically die and go back to heaven, where she's never allowed to go to the human world ever again. So yeah, because of this, the Ishtar Familia and the whole brothel basically disappeared. They're no longer able to make a brothel. I mean, kind of. I mean, they can certainly make one, but unfortunately, Ishtar and her familia is never gonna happen again. So yeah, after this, Belle basically goes home with, um, Minato. Yeah, not Minato, I meant Mikoto, and also Haruhime, and they start going back to Arario. So they can, at least have some breathing room. So yeah, that's basically what happened last episode. And so, let's talk about what happens next. So, let's just skip some parts, okay? And also, by the way, I'm really sorry that I didn't make a video, um, yesterday because I was kind of sick. Sorry. I mean, I'm still kind of sick, but don't worry, I'm pretty much fine, kind of. I still have a scratchy voice, so just ignore that. Anyway, so, Haruhime was accepted, kind of. I mean, Hestia's kind of a bit wary because of her, because the whole, Belle basically being, oh, I don't know, being brought into a brothel thing. But she does accept, Haruhime, either way. And they would, actually make good, runs. And also, after the whole thing, they were be more infamous because of that. Not only that, they also started getting recognition by some other familias, like for example, the Loki familia. And Bet is still traumatized after that whole fight thing. So yeah. Oh god. Anyway, so when everybody's deciding to go outside, they saw in front of the gate, they saw Aisha. And also some of the, you know, what are their names again? And also saw the other Amazons that are originally from the, Ishtar Familia, basically in front of their gates. As Belle would start, getting ready his sword and everybody else getting their weapons ready, she would say this: "Oh, don't worry. And I swear, we're not going to be fighting you. Besides, because the Ishtar Familia is now disbanded, we no longer have anything to do with you. And besides, we're here to say, thank you for basically saving, her." As they would point at Haruhime, as Haruhime would say this: "Wait, what do you mean by that?" As she would say this: "Oh, we didn't really mean to actually do all those things. We're more like we've been forced into it thanks to the help of Ishtar. Uh, anyway, don't worry, we're not gonna be attacking you or anything like that. We don't even have any malicious intent, towards you guys. As one of the, Amazon says this. Yeah, and also, Mr. Kernell, as Belle would just say this. Just call me Belle. As she would say this. Oh, okay. Tell me, what is that skill, by the way? The whole, like, turning your body into that armor. As Belle would just say this. Just leave me alone about that. And why do you even hear anyway? As she would say this. Oh, you didn't hear? Apparently there's an attack thanks to the, well, wait for a second. Apparently there's an attack thanks to the help of, like, the Ares Familia. But unfortunately they're easily bested thanks to of the Loki Familia. As one of them would say this. You mean that Ares Familia? As Aisha would say this. Yeah, that Familia. Uh, as Belle would say this. You mean that Familia, the one that's basically suicidal in their assaults, and also has a absolute muscle head of a god. I'm guessing, right? As she would say this. Yeah, you're right. As Belle would say this. I see. So what are you gonna do about that? As she would say this. Oh, we're planning on maybe helping the morale of the invading army. As one of them would say this. So you're basically, as she would say this. Yep. As one of them would say this. Hey, Haruhime, if you want to join then, as she would say this. No, I'm not. I don't want to be that anymore. As one of them would say this, being, well, Aisha herself. Well, you didn't actually got, you know, as she would explain. Apparently, every time when she has to, like, do her whole job thing, aka the whole, like, let's just say the whole fun time thing, she would always faint thanks to the help of, like, seeing demons. Third leg, let's just say that. As after they would explain that she never lost her, purity, to say the least, she kind of blushes as she kind of fades. Belle would basically just, like, help her up, as Belle would say this. So she's, as Aisha would say this. Yep, she's still pretty much pure. And by the way, thanks to that, we didn't get any money because of that. Ugh. Anyway, see ya, guys. As one of the, one of these, one of the Amazons would just blow a kiss at him. As, let's just say, Hestia was kind of mad because of that. As Bill would just say this. So, because there's an post, maybe we should join? As one of them specifically, Makoto would say this. Hmm, I guess we should. After all, this is our homeland now. Or at least our brand new home. As one of them specifically says this. Being a random, like, member of this familia, specifically the, well, Hestia familia would say this. Yeah, let's do this! As Bell would say this. Yeah, we should. So, yeah, let's move to a different perspective, guys. So, Bell would just say this. I'm just gonna go to the, you know, well, wait for a second, god dang. I'm just gonna go to the tavern. I really need to eat. As Haruhime would say this, you're gonna go eat at the tavern? As one of them would say this, being, well, what's his name? God dang it. Yeah, well, Welp would say this. So you're going to the tavern? Okay, just be careful. As Bell would just say this. What do you think I am, a kid? As one of them would say this. You're basically are a kid. You said you were. As Bell would just say this. Whatever. I'm just gonna go there. So, when he gets to the tavern, he would start going towards the, well, door as he sees a familiar person in one of these, well, tables. Specifically, Hermes. As Hermes would say this. Oh, hey, Belle. As Belle would say this. Wait, Hermes? As Hermes would say this. Hey, come, come. If you want to eat here, then why not? Here, have a snack. It's for free, I guess. As Belle would say this. Thanks. As he would say this. So, have you heard about the Ares family basically attacking Aurario? Such a bunch of idiots. As Belle would say this. Yeah, they are quite idiots. As one of them would say this, being Hermes himself. Yeah. So Hermes would say this. So, I heard that you're the one that basically killed the black dragon, right? As Belle would say this. Yeah, how do you know? As he would say this. Well, it's a pretty much a common story here. Not only that, it's actually one of the three great quests. As he would explain, the three great quests are basically what you think, three great quests. And the way to complete them is by defeating three powerful monsters that escaped the dungeon many years ago. Two of them, specifically Leviathan and Behemoth, were basically killed by the Zeus and Hera familia. Wait for a second. Asbel would say this. So what do you want me to do with this black dragon? I mean, I did kill it, so... As he would say this. Well, I think that you're gonna be a great hero, Belle. Because you defeated the Black Dragon, and because Behemoth and the Leviathan were actually defeated many years ago after the... Well, the Hera and Zeus Familias basically beat them down, but... After they were defeated by the Black Dragon and was dispersed, they basically were gone. But you, Belle, you defeated the Black Dragon. That means that you're gonna be soon be a great hero. I can tell that you're gonna be a great hero. There's no doubt in my mind. Anyway, here. As he was given a sandwich by Hermes, as Belle would say this, thanks. As he would say this, my treat. So, after eating, we move to a different perspective. In this case, the Hermes Familia. So, yeah, let's begin. So, the in the camp, we currently see Ares basically getting pissed off because his army is basically being defeated by the Loki Familia, which he perceives as, well, quite weak. Yeah, that was definitely not a bad insight, but well, you're basically dumb as rocks, Ares. Like seriously. So, Ares is still pretty much pissed off as he's saying, "How am I supposed to beat this team? Like, this familia, this familia is supposed to be weak. How are we being defeated by them?" As one of them specifically, well, his familiar captain by the name of, wait for a second. Yeah, Rakia would say this. Because I'm not gonna say his freaking full name. So, he would say this. Ares sometimes did wish that I never really joined your familia. As he would say this. You didn't really mean that, right? As, well, Rakia would just like look over as he would say this. Anyway, I think we have a better way of defeating the, um, town of Aurario. How about this? Maybe we could maybe capture one of the local goddesses or gods of this area, and maybe we could maybe make them surrender? As Ares would hear this, as he would say this. That sounds like a great idea! As he would say this. Just be sure not to get caught. And I heard that this, Bel Cornell person has been causing some serious trouble for some other gods. And apparently he sort of killed entire familia, specifically the Ares familia. As he would say this, "Oh, I remember that guy. I really wanted him to join my familia, but I guess he joined the Hestia familia for no reason. Like why? Why not join mine? As he would say this, maybe because he doesn't want to see any of your stupid ideas. As he would say this. Did you say something? As Reikia would say this. Oh, nothing. Anyway, if you want to try and steal a local goddess, I should probably go with you to probably not get yourself killed. Because I swear to God, if you get yourself killed, I literally. He literally like clutches his like he gra- he literally like uses his hand and just basically like pinches the bridge of his nose. As he would say this. Anyway, let's get some cloaks. So, let's go to them in the city of Arario, basically disguised. Ares is being super loud, as um, let's just say like his like familiar captain, aka Reikia, would say this. Um, Ares, please be quiet. As Ares would say this. Oh come on. Besides, it's my first time in my brand, or at least my soon-to-be new like familiar home. As he would say this. Please do not. As they would start looking around, finding some local goddesses. As when they're like looking around, they see a certain little girl, or should I say little goddess. So, this little goddess, aka Hestia, is doing some favors for some civilians, trying to help them out during the whole stage of like Arario. As when Ares saw her, he would say this: Reikia, I think I found the perfect one to try and steal and make them surrender. As when he looks over, he sees Hestia. He knows who Hestia's familiar captain is, and it's Belle. When he saw her, he would say to himself, is he fucking crazy? As he would say this, well, time to get her. As he would say this, no, we're gonna be making a plan first. As he would say this, oh, come on, Reikia. And besides, who needs a plan when you have big fucking swords? As he would grab his sword as he starts charging over at her at full freaking speed. As when Hestia saw this, she would start running away as well. But she would get captured by him, just like in canon, as she would be carried on. Well, she would be carried on his back. So yeah, she is now captured by Ares. Oh boy, Bella's gonna have a freaking field day. So anyway, wait for a second. So when Bella is basically just basically in the mansion, basically waiting for Hestia, they would get a certain let's just say message. Apparently the the Ares familia has captured one of their goddesses. And when Bell heard that, he would think that it was Hestia. And let's just say, oh boy, Bell was pissed. Every single familia member in the Hestia familia would feel the rage coming over him. He would just look absolutely pissed. As one of them specifically, would say this: "Hey, Bell, what are we gonna do? You know, our god is basically gone." As Bell would say this: "Oh, don't worry. Just let me get all black." As he would just grabs his sword as his body starts being coated in this black armor, black and red armor to be more specific. As he would say this: "Alright, guys. It's time for our first mission. It's time to fucking slaughter every single member of the goddamn, Ares Familia. Got it?" As everybody would hear that, as they would think, I think they might have thought of a bad idea. Specifically, they're thinking of the idea that, well, Ares had at basically capturing, well, Hestia. So, Bell and the rest of his familia, specifically Hestia's familia, would start marching towards the city gate. As, well, eyes. Yeah, wait for a second, just let me try and. They would see, well, eyes, as eyes would say this. Wait, Bell, what are you doing here? As Bell would say this. Oh, isn't it obvious? They stole my goddess. And nobody, and I mean nobody, steals my goddess. As one of them specifically, well, wait for a second, what's it? Well, Finn would say this. Yeah, Eyes, just let him do this. Besides, it will be much easier because he's pretty much a powerhouse. As Eyes would say this. But, but Finn, as he would say this. Come on, Eyes. I mean, have you seen how much of the power gap that is between you and him? It's like night and day. As she would say this. Fine. As he would walk past, well, Bet, as Bet would just realize that the Ares familia has, well, made a big mistake. So, as Bell would just tell everybody to just, prepare your spears and arrows, because Bell is just going to be, doing it by himself. As for Whelp and also, Rikodo, and also, wait for a second, Lily, to basically just support him. So, as every single the members of or at least the army of Ares or the Ares familia would start preparing for battle, they just see just one person, as they would just laugh a little bit, saying, "Are they serious? Sorry about that. Are they serious? They seriously think that they're going to be defeating us with just one person? What a joke." As when Ares saw this, he would say this. Guess they given up and decide to bring in a vassal to try and show their cooperation with us. As, let's just say, wait for a second. Hestia would kind of smile. Actually, not smile, more like grinning. As one of them would specifically say this. Huh? What are you, smiling at, Miss Goddess, Hestia? As she would say this. Oh, that is my familiar captain, Bell Colonel. As one of them, specifically the captain of the Ares familia, specifically, what's his face? Rakia would say this. Excuse me, you mean that Bell Colonel? Oh no. As, well, Ares would say, charge! As Rakia would say this, no, please do not charge. Please, for God's sake, no. As every single member of the Ares familiar army would start charging in and get ready to basically quote unquote kill Bell. But unfortunately, all of them are impaled, destroyed, and either burned after they tried to dogpile him. Bell would just start slashing them, just using his blade to basically just start impaling them. As he would start using wait for a second. Using the upgraded version of Firebolt at every single enemy that he can find. He would start using Iron Maiden as well to basically just let's just say turn his enemies into nothing but a bloody smoothie, to say the least. As everybody just tries to run, Bell would not care. His eyes are just burning blood red as he would say this. Ares, where are you? As he would look over and see in the hell that Ares is there, as Ares would say this. Take this. As he would start throwing every single weapon that he can find. Bell would just keep using his sword to basically just block the attacks. as Belle would start coming closer towards the hill where Hestia is. As they would start running, specifically Rakia and also Ares himself, they would start running on top of their horse as they started running away instantly. As for the army that is basically defending, well, Arario, they would say this. Why didn't we just like call Bell instantly, or at least anything like that? Because Bell seems to be quite formidable, as one of them would say this. Well, it's because of Bet's pride, as Bet would say this. Hey, come on! Anyway, so let's go back to Bell. Anyway, so let's just go back to Bell. So Bell, after saving, well, you know, Hestia, well, he would untie her ropes, as he would say this. Are you okay, my goddess? As she would say this. Don't worry, Belle. I'm okay. As Belle would say this. Thank God. Or thank the gods. As he would just hug her, as he would say this. I won't let anybody touch you or hurt you ever again. And if the Ares familiar dare try and hurt Arayo as well, they're gonna be fucking dead. He would just start burning up, his eyes burning, like almost burning as the sun. So wait for a second. His eyes would basically burn as bright as the sun. As he would say this, I would kill anybody that dares try and hurt you. And I promise, I won't let anybody hurt you. And I won't leave you ever. As Hestia would say this. Anyway, we should probably go back. As Belle would say this. Yeah. As Belle would just like carry her on his back. And they would go back towards, well, Arario. As everybody would start celebrating, saying, we actually did it. We actually defeated the, well, Ares Familia. As Belle would say this. Hestia, stay here. I'll just be hunting down those bastards. As Hestia would say this. Okay. As everybody would just think, well, the Ares Familia is about to lose their god as well. Anyway, so Bell would just basically start growing his wings as he would start fly away. He would start flying away. So, by the way, guys, Bell is not going to be, or at least like Bell and Hestia won't like fall and basically go to that like village or whatever where it is exactly it is. So he won't go there. So Bell would just like start flying as he would start seeing, well, the rest of like the Ares Familia basically just like going all out, basically saying, "Oh God, I can't believe that guy is actually that powerful." As one of them would say this, "Yeah, he was seriously that powerful." And what the hell was those, whatever those? He was like, he's not even a human. He's literally a demon in human clothing. As one of them would say this, yeah. As Ares would say this, so that was Belker. That was awesome. I want him to join our family. As specifically his captain, specifically what's his face? Rakia would say this. No, we are not letting him in our familia. And besides, we captured his goddess. So we basically have a big target on our backs thanks to you and your idiot ideas. As he would say this. I mean, I am. But still, we can probably convince him. But for now, we should just start planning on maybe trying to like or at least get more family members so we can finally take over and take Arario for us as they hear the sounds of rustling in the, in the trees as they think, what the heck was that? As Ares would say this, oh, it's probably just the birds. as Belle would just come out of the shadows, coming down from the trees, as he would start retracting his wings and putting them back on his back. As Belle would bring out All Black, as he would say this: You! You for daring to try and steal away my goddess Hestia. For daring to think that you're powerful enough to try and beat Arario. For you, the so-called war god, cowering in fear at a stupid little mortal like me. Well then, it's time for a bloody slaughter then. As every single member of the Ares Milia gone. Completely gone. So, after that, he would grab one of the heads of his, well, captains. Actually, or at least his captain of his familia, because he only had one at the time, being, well, wait for a second. Specifically, Rakia, as he would basically decapitate him, as he would just put it, put his, severed head in front of Ares' face. Ares was terrified, as Belle would say this. Now, no matter if you're a god, demon, monster, civilian, I don't care. Any one that dares to try and hurt my goddess will die. As Ares would start begging, as he would start to grab his sword, as he would try and slice, well, Belle's leg off, but his sword would be sliced in half by All Black. As yes, any last words, you so-called god? As he would say this, uh, uh, oh no, please, please. As Belle would say this, well then, see you in so-called fucking heaven. And so, Ares dies. So, let's go back to where Belle is now. So, after Belle basically killed, Ares and basically sending him back to the heavens, they would basically celebrate, as everybody would start drinking and also partying it up. So, as for Belle, Belle is basically in his, room, basically resting up, as Belle would say this. That was a day. As Null would say this. Yeah, that was a day, Belle. As Belle would say this. So, how was your meal, Null? As Null would say this. That dish was not bad. I mean, I used to never eat at all, but having the taste of a meal is quite interesting, in my opinion. As he would get a knock at the door. As when he opens it, he sees Lily. Lily would say this. Oh, hello, Belle. As Belle would say this. What do you want, Lily? As Lily would say this. Well, I wanted to talk. I kind of, she would start, twirling her, fingers together. As Belle would just, tell her to just go into his room. She would say fine, as she would lock the door. As Belle would say this. So, what do you want, Lily? As she would say this. Do you remember the first time I ever met you? Back when I was planning on, as Belle would say this. Well, yeah. You were planning on using me. To just use me for my money, but I didn't really care. You're just a small child, okay? You were just a child with just bad circumstances. So, yeah. As she would say this. So, Belle, I wanted to ask you this. As Belle would say this. What is it? She would just lean closer to him. As she would start coming closer to him even more. As she would grab Belle by his, collar. As they would kiss. Belle would say this. What was that? As she would say this. Would you want to be more than friends? as Belle would say this. Uh, uh, um, sure. As she would say this, then she would start coming closer to him even more. As she would say this, I, I love you. I loved you ever since we met. I was thankful that you were basically the one that saved me from that horrible, horrible life. I'm thankful for everything that you've done. I love you. As Belle would say this, I love you too, Lily. So, this is basically the end of this series, but before you guys leave, let's talk about the epilogue, shall we? So, well then, let's begin. So, Belle is basically now married to Lily, and they're currently still the captain, or at least Belle is still the captain of the Hestia Familia. Hestia Familia is pretty much pretty big now, and they're currently the second most strongest Familia right now. Because let's just say the Freya Familia, let's just say it's basically God now. Don't ask. So, and for Belle, Belle is currently, you know, had some children in the past. Specifically, thanks to the help of, Lily. And even though, wait for a second. Hestia doesn't really accept it. She does accept that, Belle has some children, so she can, become like a, somewhat of an aunt, or like a second, like, mother figure to them. So, yeah, they would have a happy life, as, let's just say, their children are also gonna be like them in the future. Maybe. Anyway, so, this is basically going to be the end of this, series. My first ever What If About, Belle. So, I hope you like this series, and I hope you like the video. Comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!